Hey guys, my name is Exeter, and today I want to talk a little bit about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Now, it just came out today, being Monday. Now, usually it will come out on Tuesday, but because of the pre-release or pre-order bonus, you're able to play it on Monday if you got the game. Now, you could have gone to your local GameStop or whichever retailer, really, and picked up your version of the game, but I actually got the digital bonus pack, so I ended up getting it on my Xbox. It downloaded, installed right away, and there were no issues, so I was happy about that. I got it installed over the weekend, and then on Monday it was ready to play. Due to personal things, I was not at school on Monday, so I was able to play it. I started playing it around like 10, 11 in the morning. I played the whole campaign for you guys. I beat the campaign, went straight through it, took a break for a bit, and was able to play like 3 or 4 hours of the No, sorry, that's too much. No, like 2 or 3 hours of the multiplayer. So I have a whole bunch of gameplay for you guys. Now that I've played all this, like I played the single player, so I really learned like how all the different types of guns work and like how they operate. Except for the snipers, I didn't do the snipers a lot. And then I also did the multiplayer for like 2 or 3 hours. I was able to play that. So I know all the maps. I've played on all the maps at least like once or twice. I know all the guns from either the multiplayer or the single player. And I can pretty much talk to you about pretty much almost every game mode except for the third game mode. And also, I've played almost every game mode. I've played all the generic ones. I haven't played the new ones like War or Uplink yet. So I'm going to get to those soon. I haven't played Search and Destroy either because I'm not a big Search player. But yeah, so what do I have to say before I start the game? Well, I want to go with TDM, which is the most generic game mode when you play the game. So I will start on TDM. It's usually a very good game mode to play if you want to go for your streaks, because like if you're a Slayer like I am, it's fun. It's a good game mode. Oh my god. So now I see what they mean when they're talking about there's such a big learning curve in Advanced Warfare. Now the maps aren't big for a COD. They're about medium size. Some are small, some are on the smaller side. But when I think of this game and I watch the gameplay, the maps are so tight because of movement. You can move so fast, so you get shot in the back so often and shot in places you don't like really get expected to be shot at. There are people sitting in places you're just not used to. So for me, the first 30 minutes of the game was just adapting to the way the game plays. Now the weapons, they're pretty much the same. They work the same as COD weapons. Oh, the movement's different. It's a little bit different just because of the boosting, but if you play the single player, you get used to it after playing the single player the whole thing straight. So it's a learning thing. I would actually suggest playing the single player because there's no like downside to dying in the single player. Now, of course, I'm going to upload the whole thing to you guys, so, whenever I mess up something up, I'm going to edit it. That's why if you guys watch my single-player missions, which I will be uploading at a faster rate than most other people, because I do, like, a 30-minute, 1 hour, 45-minute blocks just based on if I'm having uploading troubles or not, or how I want to cut it, because some missions are much longer than others. But, yeah, like I was saying, if you play the single player, you get used to the movement and the guns, and even if you don't want to finish it, you can still go through it and have a lot of fun doing it. But the learning curve is so much harder because there's such a big skill gap. So first, even if you're a highly skilled COD player, you have to get used to the movement. The guns are pretty much the same, like I said, but you have to get used to the movement. And then you have to actually like learn the maps. Then after learning the maps, you have to learn like all the different loadouts, the guns. You need to learn all the little tiny things about the game, so you don't mess yourself up. Like let's say you didn't realize if you double tap the X button, you'll reload quicker, which was kind of obvious going from the start. Or you reload faster with bullets in the clip, and if you have a completely empty clip, you'll take forever to reload. Stuff like that. So you gotta learn these things before you start. Here's another thing: SMGs. They're very fast mobility, they're high mobility. Shotguns, super high mobility, the highest in the game. But then if you actually run around and you want to like aim down sights and look at a corner for a bit, the ARs have no sway whatsoever, while the SMGs do, the shotguns do, the snipers have the most sway whatsoever. Jesus. And you could still quickscope in the game too, which is kind of saddening to me. But luckily, not happily, but luckily I saw a lot of snipers. I didn't see a lot of snipers, sorry. I didn't see a lot of snipers when I played. I got in a lobby with probably 5 snipers in total. That was like in 3 hours of playing. I only played against 5 snipers, and that was including like individual snipers that I've seen. And I only got killed by a sniper twice. One of them was from long range. The other one was a ridiculous quickscope. I don't even think he meant to hit me, but I boosted to the left, and right when I boosted to the left, he hit me right when I slowed down. So, that was interesting. Now, you have to learn the abilities, too. You have to play with everything, see what you like. I don't even get why people upload videos already saying like what the best classes are. Now you can kind of suggest based on the time you've played on the game what you think works well. I mean, I can personally say that for me currently the best assault rifle for me. Now I haven't played multiplayer with the IMR yet or the MK14, but most people don't like the semi-automatic MK14. That's just there for the fun of it because some people do like it, but most don't. Now for me personally, I've had the most success with the AK-12, which is one of my favorite guns from back in Ghost. And a lot of the guns that have the same name as the ones in Ghost are actually the same skins and same models, just letting you guys know. But the AK-12 with a suppressor and foregrip or stock, it works so well for me because I'm able to go on such long streaks, especially in maps with like larger open areas. And here's another suggestion. Sorry. Now, I'm a big rushing player. I like moving around the map very quickly, so I like having like, you know, high agility classes. That's what I like to call it. High agility classes. Now that means I like using SMGs a lot of the time. Now so far, I've only unlocked 4 SMGs. And the SM6 is my favorite right now. Then it's also the KP5 or MP5. Yeah, KP5. Now the KP5 is good because it has a slower rate of fire, but also like good damage. Kind of okay aim, you know, it has a little bit weird recoil, but you can control it pretty easily. Same with the KP5. The KP5 has like lower recoil, better control, better stability, but it also has a higher fire rate. So, you know, it's kind of like which one you want better. And it's also the sights too. You want to prefer a gun, especially with SMGs, that has like better sights. While with ARs, that's another reason why I like the AK-12, because it has really good sights. So I would suggest actually at first finding guns that you like the sights on. So then if you actually want to save like a point or something without choosing a sight and just going with like maybe an attachment like let's say suppressor for example instead of a sight, and then you always want to run stock on an assault rifle, or you usually do, then you know that's your class. Now what are some of my favorite maps? Well, I have a few maps that I always do well on. I do well on Comeback. I always do well on Comeback if I have an SMG, even an AR. I'm really good on that map. I'm also really good on Detroit. I don't know why Detroit. I have all maps. I know, right? Detroit. But I'm good on Detroit. And I also like Ruin? I think it's Ruin. It's the one where there's like this big medieval... I was about to say medieval. Like Mayan-esque, Aztec-esque building in the middle. Kind of like around this excavation site. So that's kind of cool. And I'm good on all those maps. The Ruin one, I'm better on with a AR. Comeback is kind of like in between. And what's the last one? Detroit is more of an SMG shotgun map. Shotties are really good on that map because there's a lot of close quarters, especially if you play Hardpoint. I was playing Hardpoint, and that map is really good for shotguns. This one shotgunner was just going around and wrecking everybody. Now, I'm also good on the map that's based in Greece. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what all the maps are called yet. I don't remember the names yet, but I'm pretty good on all the maps. They did a good job on the maps. Like, there's no map that I just despise, and which is good. I mean, going into COD Ghost, I actually didn't even like Stonehaven going into it, and I think, what else? I think, like, the drone knockoff. No, I like that one. But, you know, there were maps going into Ghost that I just didn't like. Same thing with Black Ops 2. Like, you play the map once, and you're like, damn, this is a shitty map. So far, at least off the top of my head, there aren't really maps like that for me. Now, the worst maps, in my mind, when it comes to Advanced Warfare, are maps that have long, open lanes where, like, there's just huge sight lines, because the ARs have such, like, low recoil, and they have, like, such a small amount of sway. People just sit in places where you can't really see them. It's really hard to see people, too, because you could blend into the background really easily, especially from long ranges. But where, like, people just hide in the background, or they, like, hide somewhere, and then they just wreck you. And it's not that the guns, they actually kill faster, but the thing is, if you get your shots on accurately, you'll kill someone rather quickly. Now, what makes it so much harder, and the reason why they had it like that, is because the whole thing is supposed to be you're moving. So think about it like this. If two people are shooting at each other, now one is static, one's standing still, and the other one's kinetic. They're, like, boosting around and stuff. The person that's static is going to have to move with the person that's boosting, while the person that's boosting is going to have the advantage because they're going to be able to keep their sights on the other person easier because they can dictate which way they're moving, while the other person that's static is trying to guess which way they're moving. Here, let me give you a real-life example of this. Now, a lot of you guys are American, so I'm just going to go with football. I would go with soccer, but I'll go football. So let's say that your receiver's making a run. Now, the receiver already knows which direction he's going to go, but the cornerback doesn't know that, or whoever's on the receiver doesn't know that. So they're just trying to watch the receiver and make sure that he can cut off the route so he doesn't get the ball or an open pass. So what is he going to do? He's going to watch the receiver. But it's harder for him to know which way he's going to go because he doesn't already know. While the receiver, he could do like a few fakes, and then he could run really fast in one direction. And then the person that's on them, the defense, so like the cornerback, I'm just going to say, they have to keep up with that receiver. So it's much harder for the cornerback than the receiver, if you get what I'm saying. Now, in the other sense, like if the receiver's just running in a straight line right towards the cornerback and it's just a Hail Mary pass, straight line drive, the cornerback can just run in and intercept it. So that's kind of what it is with the campers. The cornerback is kind of like an AR that's just sitting there, for example, and you want to be the running back. You don't want to be that guy that's just going straight into these open lanes. You want to take more tactical approaches. You want to take the rooftops. You want to take the ways less traveled, the directions that people wouldn't expect you to come from. Now, here's an example. So I was in a gunfight with a guy, and he was on a rooftop. I was on a rooftop. So what I ended up doing, I was shooting him. He came up onto the rooftop. I backed off. I jumped back off, and I boosted forwards. So I was underneath. So then he was running down the thing, thinking I bolted. I ran away because he started shooting at me. And then I came back up from behind him and punched him in the back, and I knocked him out. And that's pretty much something you have to do. You have to use the movement to your capabilities. You have to, be smart with it. But like I said before, you might be able to do all these things. You might be able to outthink everybody. But due to the map sizes being rather small for what the game is, and due to the movements and pretty much these long lines of sights and the power of the assault rifles and just other weapons, and the fact that people are much better now in this game, at least so far, because the mass population hasn't gone the game yet. They're going to buy it over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. By Christmas time, it will be just flooded with noobs. But right now, it's only the best players are on right now. So you're going to have a lot of trouble. Somehow, I have about a 2 KD, which I'm kind of surprised about. Like in Team Deathmatch, I'm averaging a 1.2. In Kill Confirmed, I'm averaging a 2.6. In Domination, I'm averaging a 1.1. Or that's just an average though. I can go from a negative KD to 3 KD, in Domination. Just depends on who I'm playing. Hardpoint, I always do really well in Hardpoint, but I always die a lot too. Because I get a lot of kills, I always get streaks, but I also die a lot. So, you kind of have to decide which one you think is better. And here's a suggestion. I was playing Hardpoint, and damn, this was annoying. This was really annoying. I was playing, and I got my Warbird. I didn't do any changes. I just increased the timer, which is like 200 points more, 100 points more. So I'm in this Warbird, and I'm trying to shoot people down. Oh my god, there's it gets overheated. But it's not like the overheated where if you tap it, it doesn't go down as fast. It's the overheated where it's a bar, and once it just goes down. It doesn't matter how fast you hit the trigger or not. It just goes down. So when it goes down, then you have to wait 10 seconds, which sucks. It's not like if you tap it, it recharges. No, it doesn't recharge. You have to wait for it to totally empty. It's like it's running out of ammo, but it's not running out of ammo. It's just overheating, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. They should change that instead of overheating to refilling ammo or something like that. And it's so weak, too. It takes one whole cycle to get one person. So I would suggest that instead of increasing the timer, make it to rockets, because rockets will be much more effective. I tried it out, and it's actually much better. So if you guys are able to even get your Warbird, I've only gotten 2 of them. One with and one without the rockets. So if you guys can, just try really hard. And if you don't even think you can go for it, I know some YouTubers right now that they can't even get streaks right now because it's so hard. It's hard, so they're just sticking with the UAV. So be smart with what you want to do. Hardpoint's always a great game mode if you're good at fast-paced movement and stuff like that, or just gun skill. You have high gun skill. You're able to turn on people really easily. If you are a good fast-paced player, then go with Hardpoint. And if you're like a slurring my words now, a slower paced player, then go with Domination. Kill Confirm's not really that good for slower paced movement. Team Deathmatch is something I saw that's better for slower pace. And yeah, so stuff like that. I hope you guys liked the commentary. If so, hit that like button down below and subscribe for more content. One last thing before I go is I will be uploading the the Advanced Warfare campaign periodically. Now, I will do it every other, not every other day, every day. Now, I might deviate every once in a while due to maybe a recording issue. Not recording issue, sorry, I'm done with all of them. An uploading issue, because sometimes YouTube doesn't accept it, or my internet just randomly turns off and turns back on, which can cause the upload to just stop, and I'll have to redo it manually. It doesn't automatically do it, so I might be gone for like a few hours, and then I see that it just canceled, and I was like, damn it, I want to like post it now, but then I'm going to have to wait another few hours. So yeah, and that's why I haven't been posting as big an episode. So if you watch this at a point and you're like, why does he have like a 30-minute episode there when he usually posts like an hour or 45 minutes? That's just because of time when it comes to uploading it. It's much easier to upload a 1080p episode for a short period of time than a longer period of time, because it's actually exponential, the amount of data that it takes to have a longer video uploaded, and the amount of time. So, thank you for watching, peace out, and goodbye.
Hardpoint has moved. Hardpoint is ours.
Bruh, the hell did he know I was there? The man was scared of lost. You ain't killing me, son. Bruh, let me get the last kill. No, why not?
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
No, let me get the last kill. Oh,
Squad, that was textbook.